sometimes, you just know. You feel it deep in your gut. Not so much an instinct as an instant, unimpeachable sense of certainty so clear nothing could convince you otherwise. That's how Mori Sue'sue felt seeing Raleek Brown on a football field. He just knew. He knew before warm-ups of that first Little League All-Star tryout were finished. He knew by the way Brown moved at just 12 years old, so sudden and yet so smooth, deftly cutting on one dime after another, speeding past 1, 2, 3, 4 unsuspecting defenders with ease. He knew the way those in Brown's hometown of Stockton will tell you they've always known, at least since crowds started forming to see the young football phenom they once called Mighty Mouse. Others who ushered Brown along the way, from the Southside Vikings all the way to USC, offer a similar explanation for how they came to believe Brown was bound for stardom. They just knew, they say, always with the same emphasis on the word. At USC, teammates took call of a few days during preseason camp before treating the freshman's bright future as a foregone conclusion. Eyes light up whenever they're asked about Brown. It's something I saw day one, says USC receiver Tahj Washington. It amazes me, adds Austin Jones, a fellow USC running back. I was just sitting back in fall camp, like, this dude is real. Until that tryout, Sue'sue had yet to hear much about him. But Brown's father, Roscoe, was familiar with Sue'sue. His reputation in Northern California as a respected local 7-on-7 coach and talent evaluator preceded itself. So Roscoe approached him hoping he'd take a look at his son. He knew Sue'sue was working with Najee Harris. Before that, he trained Joe Mixon. Both would wind up as the #1 backs in their recruiting class, before becoming two of the best in the NFL. Which is to say, Sue'sue knew a good running back when he saw one. I haven't missed on a kid yet, he says. And in the case of this particular kid, he was convinced. So much so that later that summer, he and his friend and fellow coach, Stuart Tua, sought to test the boundaries of Brown's extraordinary talent. 6 years before he struck the Heisman pose in the Coliseum end zone, boldly announcing his arrival during USC's 2022 season opener, the two coaches brought Brown to campus for one of the Trojans' elite football camps. He was still just 12 years old. But the coaches say they were able to sneak him in, with the intent of testing him against several top high school prospects. In a picture from that day, a smiling Sue'sue stands next to a pint-sized Brown, who couldn't weigh much more than 100 pounds at the time. He's wearing lime green leggings, which stand out among the cardinal-and-gold throng on Cromwell Field and distract from the uncertain expression on Brown's face.